those things. Okay. And what I said was, anyone who calls in tonight, my whole intention is to build, not to tear down. Stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Yeah. Stepping stones can be slippy, so you have to use great care. But you get across the river by using the stepping stones. But there could be stumbling blocks, couldn't there? My mission on this earth is to bring my Father's glory. Can't see Father, His Spirit, but He's put my spirit in this temple. My spirit's been with Father before time, whether you can accept it or not, is immaterial to me, because I know where I'm from and I know why I'm here. Yeah. And now Yeshua, Jesus, he said some wonderful things, didn't he? He used illustrations of the day because they used to speak to him. They used to talk to him. And it's our Father that influences him to see what's around him, to see Father's voice, to hear him. And he always wanted us to experience the same thing. Father, our Father, the same Father that Yeshua has, is here. How? Bob Choice. Bless you, my brother. Bob was on about new wine in old wineskins. Now, to understand that, because they've changed the original text into bottles. When originally it was a wineskin. I had a skinful last night, meaning a full skin, a lamb. Get what I'm saying? What they do is they use the neck to put the wine in. New lamb skin will stretch, because it's new. If it didn't, guess what? You put new wine that's still bubbling, hasn't completely fermented, it bubbles and bubbles and bubbles and poof, bursts. That's why Yeshua used this illustration as wineskin. Yeah, Now, many years ago, I used to experiment like a scientist. I was quite fascinated how all this worked out. I said to myself, as a scientist, how could you turn sugar into alcohol? Ah, the fermentation. So, I used to get less than my own beer and my own wine. And I became an expert. Very good at it. I learned about yeasts. Different kinds of yeasts have different effects. To turn the sugar, a catalyst is needed. You get pure juice, wine juice. That's all it is. And then you put the catalyst in. Depending on the yeast, different types of yeast. There's so many yeasts that can create so many different tastes. I experimented with beer, putting different yeasts in. And what happens is, you just need a little yeast and the sugar and the yeast start reacting, bubbling, produces, there's a conversion, and the byproduct is alcohol. Yeah, man, you're turning the sugar into alcohol. Now within us, there is a process. Yes, we use the yeast in one way, but we also used it in another way, as an illustration. I'm going to turn it round and use it in a good way. New wine with the perfect yeast. How do you get the perfect yeast? The yeast is actually on the, guess what? You guessed it, on the skin. Have you ever seen that white sort of on the skin? That's the yeast. Now, there's an experiment. Different grapes have different kinds of yeast. So I would scrape off the yeast and put it in the beer to create a different taste of the beer. Oh, yeah, man. And I will get onto this illustration in a minute. Let me just say this. Sometimes we don't know the limitations that is put upon the human body. Was it a sin for me to get absolutely drunk? I used to. I did. Of my own wines and of my own beers. A connoisseur of different kinds of beers. I've been from Land's End to John O'Groats, tasting all the beers and the ciders. Oh, the ciders. The ciders. Oh. And my father would say to me, off you go, enjoy yourself. But I've put limits, I've put barriers, and I will tell you, when you've had enough. Will you, Father? How will you do that? Just wait and see. And so I did. I'm talking about a young boy, young man. And the wine and the beer, man, I could drink But then, my temple told me, you've had too much cider. I've had too much cider. No. You've had too much cider. No, I haven't. And then, the next morning, oh, my, the burning sensation. Oh, I've had too much. Oh yes. Thank you for telling me, Father. That is one way of telling me. Because I won't listen any other way. So my body would tell me, that is enough. My body used to. I don't drink heavy now. I can drink. I used to drink very, very heavy. But my body told us, hey, that's enough now. Don't go too far now. Okay. So, people say that's a sin against your own body. You sinned against yourself, Joseph, drinking 24 hours off the belt. Ahoy, ahoy, ahoy to you. Aye. 24 hours. 48 hours. Should I go on? And now, you're going to condemn me now, aren't you? Because you're so self-righteous. Mm-hmm. Oh, Christians, Yeshua wouldn't do that, would he? Would he not? Did you not know this? When he was a boy, he used to visit England and used to enjoy the ciders of the day. Did he get the same problem? Oh yes. The burning. Father thing, that's enough. That's enough, Yeshua. No. That's enough. Okay, Father. Thank you for letting me know. Yes, people think that Yeshua is so prim and proper and so, oh man, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. He wouldn't swear, he wouldn't drink. Oh, you crack me up, you people. You do. I tell you what, if you met Yeshua, let's take you back 2,000 years ago, and there you are. You're a hero. You've wanted to meet this guy forever, and then you meet. Whew. He doesn't hold anything back. He's very loving, but his tongue is very sharp. Did you know this? That everybody walked away from him. Everybody. All his family. Because he was saying what he was doing. All his family left him, thought he was cuckoo. Aye, it's true. And then the disciples, you know, he gets to know him. He gets a following. Here they are. Did you know it was a love-hate relationship? There were times when they loved him. There were times when they fucking hated him for the things he used to say. What do you mean, Joseph? He used to come up with the most ridiculous things. Did you know? Did you know? Hey. Peter. James. John. Off you. Unless you drink my blood. I'll eat my flesh. Do you know what? There was shock. These were Jews. To say such a thing. They said to each other, we can't listen to this fucker. Listen to what he's saying. Drinking blood. Eating his flesh. I've had enough of this fella. But look at all the things he's done. Yeah, well, I still can't agree with what he's saying. I can't. I'm fucking off. I can't be bothered with this. All his family's walked away from him, and he's saying these. Look how many things he said, which are crazy. You know, he said he'd been here before. Before Abraham was, he is. These are the things he's saying. I know he's saying these things. But we've got to give him a chance. Look what we're seeing. We can't just dismiss that. So it was a love-hate relationship. There were times when they hated him, not as the truth. And there's no difference today. If he was here today, he would be hated, he would be loved. Do you really know what he's like? Do you? You'd be shocked. He fully understands mankind. Fully understands. He allowed himself to go through the pains and sufferings that would cover every single thing that a human could suffer. He was willing to be a scapegoat for the nation of Israel. For the women who were following him, who trusted him. For the men who trusted him, but didn't trust him. They had to go through a process. These disciples, Yeshua saw the goodness in them. These men weren't perfect men. They had faults. And Yeshua was trying to correct the frequency of the thinking, the way the Jew thought was not quite right because it had been contaminated by sources from the religious sides all around, influencing them. So they had this in them. Loyalty to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That would never leave them. It was just bred in them. There are those who have sinned against their own bodies, just as I have, to sin against their own body. Correction. It just needs adjusting. we need to adjust. Our bodies sometimes need to be cleansed. Sometimes Father will put us in a position where it's like being in a prison. A prison. By the way, many say this is a 666. What about if I do it that way? Hey. Add 666 up. What is it? 18. 1 and 8. It's 9. Don't you get it? We always look at things by 666. No, you're going to condemn me for that. Don't make me laugh. This is where our adjustment needs to be made. They took the Star of David. And abused it. Taking the centre out of it. Many things that are frowned upon now, look back into the history. Was it good in the original? Was it something good in the original? Not all what we look at is what we should. There's a lot of contamination of the mind. 9 is a 9 divine. 369. Look it up. 369. It's a different geometry. Yeah. I don't know why I had to address that. But if I do that, I am a mason. I am a stonemason. A real stonemason. A sculptor. An artist. Someone who knows about divine numbers and sizes, which I'd love to get into in the future, but time doesn't permit. I know all the signs that the Illuminati, Jabalan, all yous, what you do, the hidden hand of Jabalan. We know you've got your hidden hand. Yeah, the hidden hand of Jabalan. You know the signs, this. Well, that and that together, as above so below, is in the Star of David. When you combine them two, with a point in the middle, the valve. This is where the adjustment needs to be made within Judaism, within Christians, within Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists. All have an essence of something good. But until you get to the full, you're missing. You're missing. Don't rely on religion to bring it to you either, because that's not going to bring it to you. That'll stifle your growth. Religion. You'll get so far, you'll get no further. Like the Jews. They get no further. They've got the Enlightenment, but they can't get to the next part because They have to accept the man on the shroud. The man on the shroud. The witness. There are two witnesses. The shroud and the napkin that went over the shroud. That have covered his face. Blood. Exactly the same spots. The same blood. Abel. Two witnesses. And now the shroud of Turin is locked into the most securest thing you could ever imagine. It wasn't a silver box, but now it is so secure because Father, that's his witness. That's his witness of the greatest event ever to be witnessed. It is on the cloth. Cannot be denied. Holographic 3D. Wow. Wow. Yeah, man. All is okay. So if you've, let's say, get to a stage where, do you know, Joseph, I look and I say, Father, how can you forgive me? Look what I've done. How? I can't undo the things I've done. I can't. I can't. This is why I can't come to you. I can't. My Father says this. Remember the story of the prodigal son. When he returned, he'd lost everything. The pigs were eating better than him. And he said, let me go back to my father. Perhaps he will hire me. Or just let me be a slave. One of the high servants. I would be better off than where I am right now. His father sees him coming, afar off. And greatly rejoices. My son, my daughter, is going back. Thank you. See that garment there? Get that garment. Get ready for him. See that? We're gonna have a feast. Pick the best one. The best one.